Alright, so we've got it all washed up now. And as you can see, it's just got swirls everywhere. So pretty much every surface has got some pretty serious swirls. And then there's a couple of spots that when it was painted, it ended up with a few dots, like a few bubbles here and there, and that's like, if you get a piece of dirt on the paint while it's being painted, it will leave a little imperfections here and there. So then down here on the bottom, I washed it really well, but it looks like it just needs to be sanded a bit. And then because it was so messed up, I actually haven't clayed this part of it yet. So I was going to go back with a different piece of clay to clay that. I clayed the rest of the car though, so going to come back on that one. So yeah, I'm going to do a little test spot here. I already wet sanded the top part of that door a while back because it was just really uneven. But yeah, I'm not sure how well the camera's picking this up, but it's just got scratches everywhere. So you can see that long one. And then just swirls on the whole thing. So, and then you get to these other panels and it's like it's different. Almost a different level of swirls, like they did something else to swirl it up. And then when I was claying, when I got to this section here, the paint actually got really rough. I used a clay towel and a clay bar, and going over with the clay towel, I believe it started in this area. I'm not sure how well the camera's picking it up or how well my lighting is on here, but when you get to this area, it would actually, the sound of the towel would increase by a lot, and it became really grabby. And you can see from looking at it, it's actually a different texture. So that's going to take some, I think it's going to be some heavy polishing. So it looks like the paint was just uneven in that area, or they, when they did their initial buff after painting, they might have just missed right there. And then there's actually a couple other spots like that on the car. But it's already looking a lot better just from a thorough wash and a clay. And of course, decontamination stuff. Got most of the white back on the tires, and the chrome's looking better, but it's got these, it looks like it's painted black in between here, and it's just getting, it's like it's dinged up and oxidized. So maybe it's not black, maybe it's just the lighting and the angle. No, it is, yeah, it is black. So I'm not sure what the heck I'm going to do about that, because can see it's got all those spots. And with the black underneath, I'm afraid if I go to try to polish it or something, just gonna take it off. So maybe those caps need to be just completely restored, or maybe I'll talk to the owner and see if he wants to remove the black and just have it all chromed out. I think at this point that would probably be the best option. And then these chrome wheels, they've got some scratches in them, like when they were cleaned they just used something that was kind of abrasive, so I don't know if that's gonna polish out or not. I mean, we can get them really shiny, but I don't know if I can get all those scratches out of it. I'll do my best. And then the glass, I'm going to do the glass last because, you know, that's what you do. And then all this trim you can see here is just heavily oxidized. All on here. So hopefully I can polish that out and get it back to new. So yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of work. But I think it's going to turn out really nice. So yeah, just another update. I'm not sure how I'm going to post this video yet. I don't know if I'm going to try to run them all together or do a little series or what. Let's see, I just noticed another thing on the roof here. You can see it. I think you can tell. Well, there's like different parts where it's kind of matte. It's got like a matte finish to it, and then it'll be really glossy. So that's gonna be tricky to try to level all that out. Yeah, and then we've got some orange peel right here too. It just needs to be, I'm gonna have to wet sand this orange peel out because it's pretty heavy. And that's what was on this door. It was just a crazy amount of orange peel on this door that I sanded out for him a while back. And it was difficult because using my paint depth gauge, it was all over the place because this door was painted and they did it the wrong color, and then they just did a quick sand and then they painted over it again. So I have to get the orange peel out but not go beyond the top layer of paint because this is just a single stage paint job. So there's no clear coat. So it's, you know, if I go too far with wet sanding to get the orange peel out, I go into the next coat of paint and the door changes color. So it's about as tricky as it gets because you have to be aggressive to get the orange peel out, otherwise it'll just take you days to get anywhere. But then you also have to be careful not to go through the upper layers. So you got to constantly measure the paint depth and then wet sand a while, measure the paint depth, and since it's different in different areas, you got to do it each time before you go and take note of what level each part of the door is at. And you know, the consistency might be 4 square inches where it's the same, and then the next 4 it's different. So it was just really tricky, and I'm afraid a lot of this is going to be pretty tricky, but I think we'll get there. It's just going to be a bit of work. So yeah, stay tuned and keep you updated on the progress.